Trump's been busy these last few days. Signing orders, reinstalling the Diet Coke button, grabbing Panama by the canal. But it was only a matter of time until he had to start presidenting for real. This morning, he held a press conference to address the tragic plane crash in Washington, D.C. last night. And remember, one of the most important things a leader can do in a rapidly developing, difficult situation is to calm people down, stick to the facts, and keep your uninformed opinions to yourself.
We do not know what led to this crash, but we have some very strong opinions and ideas, and I think we'll probably state those opinions now.
I mean, or we can just speculate wildly. Why not? I get a little bit nervous when Trump has a strong opinion. You know, it's never something unifying, like sunsets are beautiful or love is the answer. But this is a new term, and he's only a few days in, so let's give him the benefit of the doubt. What's Trump's opinion about what happened in D.C.?
The FAA's diversity push, a big push to put diversity into the FAA's program. The agency's guidance on diversity hiring, the FAA's diversity and inclusion hiring plan.
Damn you, diversity initiatives. Why are you responsible for every historical tragedy? The fires in Los Angeles, DEI. The bridge collapse in Baltimore, DEI. The Irish potato famine, DEI. Slavery, DEI. Did you ever notice how many minorities were at slavery? It's all DEI. Just to be clear, Mr. President, you have evidence that diversity initiatives are responsible for this tragic crash. You're not just saying this, right? Right?
I'm trying to figure out how you can come to the conclusion right now that diversity had something to do with this crash.
Because I have common sense.
There you go. No. There you go. There you go. He has common sense. It's just a coincidence that his common sense happens to align with his long-held prejudices. So let's spin the big wheel of blame to see which minorities are responsible for this crash. Who will it be this time? Black people, lesbians, trans Armenians?
The FAA is actively recruiting workers who suffer severe intellectual disabilities, psychiatric problems, and other mental and physical conditions under a diversity and inclusion hiring initiative. They include hearing, vision, missing extremities, partial paralysis, complete paralysis, epilepsy, and dwarfism.
Dwarfism? I can't believe it. It's only day 10 and Trump is already this far down his list of scapegoats. He's blown past race and gender and now he's hitting dwarves? Is he really suggesting there was a plane crash because someone with dwarfism worked in air traffic control? Does Trump think they couldn't see the control panel and they were just reaching up and pushing buttons, hoping it would work out? Hold on. I just want to say that people with dwarfism are just like everyone else. In fact, their penises are normal size. Which means proportionally, they're huge. So in a way, you could say that I'm the one looking up to them. That's a thinker. That's a thinker. A lot of different layers in there. You might be thinking, well, that's progress. You know, he used to blame everything on past administrations, but don't worry, he got them in there too.
We had a very good policy, and then Biden came in and he changed it, and Biden went by a standard that's the exact opposite. The FAA, which is overseen by Secretary Pete Buttigieg, a real winner. You know how badly everything's run since he's run this Department of Transportation? Obama, Biden, and the Democrats, they put politics at a level that nobody's ever seen. I changed the Obama standards from very mediocre at best to extraordinary.
I'm sorry. You're blaming Obama? The guy from 3 presidents ago? Forget blaming a fart on your dog. This is blaming the fart on your dog that died when you were 8. I still think about you, Henry. Such stinky farts you had. Look, Mr. President, I know you're scared that people might hold you responsible now that you're president, because you're the president, Mr. President. And it's time to just be a man, okay? Real men don't point fingers. Real men find solutions. Real men show leadership. Real men moisturize. Guys, you gotta take care of your skin. You gotta take care of your skin. Yeah. The skin is the biggest organ on the body. Unless you're a dwarf, then it's the second biggest. Okay. Gotcha there. Gotcha there. All right, let's move on, okay? Because while Trump is demanding meritocracy in government, he's trying to fill his cabinet with a whole bunch of just real geniuses. Today, the Senate held hearings for Kash Patel, who Trump wants to lead the FBI, because of qualifications like this.
My name is Kash Patel, and I have written the first ever children's Russiagate book. It's called The Plot Against the King. It is a fantastical telling by me, the Russiagate chief investigator.
Wow. I mean, that's a great reason to not teach your kids to read. At the same time, the Senate held hearings for Tulsi Gabbard, who Trump wants as director of national intelligence, even though she's friendly with dictators like Bashar al-Assad and looks like the head of the Galactic Council in a bad sci-fi movie. For more on those Senate confirmation hearings, we go to Jordan Klepper, Desi, Lydic, and Josh Johnson. Let's go first. Let's go first to Jordan. Yeah. Let's go first to Jordan. Jordan, you've been covering the Kash Patel hearing. How did he come across?
How do you think, Kosta? Patel's a conspiracy theorist who believes the 2020 election was rigged, follows QAnon, and most shockingly, thinks toddlers want to read a pop-up book about Russiagate. I mean, just listening to him speak gave me brain damage so much that I think listening to him speak gave me brain damage. Clearly, Kash Patel is the least qualified of all of Trump's nominees.
I'm sorry, but can I butt in here?
Yes, Desi, you're covering the Tulsi Gabbard hearings. How did she come across?
But how do you think, Kosta? I haven't been that uncomfortable since Klepper asked if I liked his haircut. She wants to be director of intelligence. Have you seen her friends? Bashar al-Assad, Vladimir Putin, Justin Baldoni, heartburn, upset stomach, diarrhea. It's too much. She is clearly the least qualified Trump nominee.
What are you talking about, Desi? First, my hair looks fantastic. And Tulsi was at least in Congress. She spent time in the government. The only thing Patel has spent time in is the comment section of the Pizzagate subreddit. He's the most unqualified.
No way. You cannot trust Tulsi with state secrets. I wouldn't even trust her with secret brand deodorant. CVS locks it up now because of her.
I'm sorry, can I hop in here?
Yes, Josh, you're covering RFK Jr.'s hearing.
Yeah, and obviously he is the least qualified candidate because he is RFK Jr. He wants to run the Department of Health and Human Services. He's not qualified for health. He's barely qualified for human, all right? He's basically a leather bag full of coughs. For someone who might be in charge of all the drugs, he acts like someone in charge of all the side effects: nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. Baldoni.
No. Look, my guy wrote a children's book about Russiagate. The only reason you write a children's book about Russiagate is you can't write an adult book about Russiagate. I mean, he used more exclamation points than a white woman's email.
I deleted that. And Tulsi is the least qualified. She couldn't be more of a Russian mole if she was dangling from Rasputin's back. Josh, do you really think RFK is less qualified than Tulsi?
Does a bear carcass get dumped in the Central Park woods?
Kash Patel, if you're watching, a bear is the one that goes grrr.
Oh, please. Tulsi makes Kash Patel look like Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, current day Stephen Hawking, because Kash Patel is brain dead.
At least they have brains. RFK Jr.'s brain got eaten by a worm in his head.
Okay, guys, hey, why are we fighting over this? Okay, they're all unqualified. Why does it matter who the least qualified is?
Look, Michael, because the reporter covering that specific hearing gets the right to use a somber but serious Pulitzer-contending voice when they say, in the opinion of this reporter, Kash Patel is the least qualified nominee in American history.
No. Tulsi Gabbard is the least qualified nominee in American history.
You're both wrong. RFK Jr. is the least qualified nominee in American history.
Josh, are you putting in contacts?
I don't have glasses, but I need to look smart. God, I never touched my eye before. This is.
Well, I don't think any of you are qualified for this job. Jordan, Desi, and Josh, everyone.